Hey everybody, welcome back. We're actually putting out another podcast this week. We actually managed to get from pre-Bristol, yeah, fucked that one up already, to Bristol. So, we watched the race today. Uh, Caboose cannot join us this week, but we have his picks. And Carbon will give those to you later on in the show. I'm Hurdon,
I'm Carbon.
and welcome to the podcast. So the first thing that sticks out to me is that Kyle Larson dominated until he got out of the lead, and he kept fighting back and fighting back and fighting back. And it seemed like every time he got to the front, was fighting for the lead, couldn't quite get there.
He held his line pretty well, though. Especially the outside line, which nobody else was running, really. Except for,
Yeah,
Truex.
he
Hamlin
made a couple
tried
of
it.
mistakes there. Well, Johnson blocked the hell out of him at the end of segment 2. And did a very good job of holding Larson off. And that's when the best racing happened. And I think it was 4 or 5 of them up there. I think it was Logano, Harvick, Larson, and Truex were all up there. Yeah, I think it was all. There was a pile of them up there fighting for it.
Boyer, he was up there. He actually got second.
Boyer came on strong at the end. Yeah, very
Mhm.
strong at the end. Boyer is real happy to be in a fast car again. Had an early crash with Kurt Busch, and that resulted in Chris Buescher, who seemed to have a fairly fast car, running into the back of somebody that was checking up.
There were a few accidents.
There
Danica
were a
Patrick,
few
as
boo-boos.
always.
Yes.
Kyle Busch twice.
Kyle Busch with blown tires
freaking
yet
tires.
again.
Surprising.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's
a afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a JGR thing or just Kyle Busch overdriving the car because I mean he's a good driver. I hate him, but he's a good driver. And
You got him picked to win.
I think I did have him picked to win, and he was coming towards the front, but JGR is struggling right now. It seems like the 77 and the 78 have more figured out, and they are allied with JGR. So,
77 again? What's that person?
Eric Jones. Eric Jones.
He got taken out by Allmendinger, I think it was. Or he took out Allmendinger
No,
or something like that.
I think he took Allmendinger out, and Allmendinger was having a good run as well. Another story we can talk about real quick. We're trying to make this quick this week, guys, because it's just the two of us, and we kind of don't have a whole lot to talk about Bristol. I mean, Bristol kind of spoke for itself today. Dale Jr., another part failure. I mean, he can't catch a break.
Was it oil cooler?
Oil cooler and then hit the wall because of the oil coming out. He's the only Hendrick car that's really having problems right now. And they need to put some mechanics in his garage that know what they're doing because he's having either parts failures or wrecks. And not necessarily his fault.
Every week,
Well,
week since the start, I've had him on my NASCAR league, except for the last week. Well, 2 weeks ago, like the last time they ran, Texas. Where he actually managed to get a top 5. I put him back in this week. Guess what happens? So I'm removing him from my racing league.
And speaking of which, there will be a screenshot put into the video here very shortly of the Fantasy NASCAR League of where Caboose, who is not joining us tonight, had negative points in the NASCAR Fantasy League.
Which I have not seen
I did
yet
pretty
this
well
year.
this week.
Yeah, you were way up there. You had freaking Larson. I had Larson to win.
Yeah, I had Larson.
I didn't have him on my actual league, though, to run.
I still feel like, Jimmy Johnson has managed to find his way to the front at the very, very end of races. That shit ain't going to work all season. Larson's been dominant. Truex has been dominant. Blaney had a failure. Keselowski had a failure. And those are two very good cars. Penske didn't seem to bring very good equipment to Bristol this weekend, but
Logano
still
was
ran
strong,
well.
though.
Yeah,
He
but
was
they
up
still
there.
didn't bring their best, I don't think. But
Kozlowski fell back.
Hendrick looked good, minus Dale Jr. And I don't know what's going on with his car. Casey Kane's having a comeback of sorts in his career.
What did
But
Casey Kane end up
anyways,
with?
I think he got our top 10. Ricky Stenhouse had a stout car. I'm impressed with how Stenhouse has been running lately.
No. Casey Kane managed 20. I remember seeing
Well,
him
I don't
up
know
there
what happened.
for the longest time.
He,
I don't know.
yeah, it was top 10 for quite a while. But, yeah, this is kind of a weird race. A little different for Bristol. Bottom lane was fast at first. Top lane was garbage, except for Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson rubbered that bitch in, and he made it work, and he was riding it up next to the wall. But, so Bristol basically came down to Jimmy Johnson got lucky again. And won it at the end of the race again. So he's gone
He was
back
out of breath
to back.
again.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's getting old. Kind of like me. And so it was a good race. Wasn't as
It
good
was
as
fun. Like the
Martinsville.
last 40 laps were intense. I had to go to class.
The end
And I
of
was like, nope,
segment
not
2
leaving
was
yet.
my favorite part.
I'm waiting.
End of segment 2, when you had 5 people fighting for the lead, was great when they hit lap traffic. But, anyways, Bristol was Bristol. I was glad to see multiple lanes working and stuff like that, and some bump and runs and stuff like that. A couple of accidents, nothing too severe. I don't like seeing cars get tore up, but it makes for exciting racing when somebody gets bumped or something like that. Most of the accidents were not due to on-track incidents. They were due to either parts failures or driver mistakes. But anyways, we'll move on to Richmond and Caboose's picks. Justin, I will let you give Caboose's picks for the week.
His are Dale Jr. again. I don't think he's going to stop picking Dale Jr. until Jr. finally wins one. And I believe Matt Kenseth, he picked.
Yep. All right. And I'll throw mine out there. I'm going to go with somebody who has not won this year, and I'm going to go with Kevin Harvick. Because I know how good he is there, because I've seen him win there so many times, and he always leads a lot of laps there. So I'm on the Kevin Harvick bandwagon. And for a lower tier driver, right now I think Denny Hamlin's acceptable for that, because he has not performed up to expectations, as all of JGR has not this year.
Let's see. Well, you took my pick. I was going to take Harvick, but I think I'll change then to Chase Elliott. I think he's way overdue at this point. He just needs to get up there.
Is.
And I'm going to say McMurray.
McMurray is good at Richmond.
I think he's
no doubt about it.
He's been shining through. Him and Boyer and Stenhouse. Okay. They've all been showing that. I think they'll be the future of NASCAR.
Slowly creeping up. McMurray is a veteran. He knows how to race the track. And the last couple times we've been to Richmond, we've seen a third lane come in. And that's been a big thing where you don't see at a track like Richmond, which is not a very wide track, 3-wide racing, which we saw some of today at Bristol. But
very sketchy.
It wasn't pretty, but everybody kind of eased off when they needed to.
He lost like 4 positions when he was like he was trying to get up there and then realized
just by letting off
bad it was, and he's like, I'm gonna back up.
Yeah, but so we'll. I think we'll see some 3 wide
now.
at Richmond. Turn 3 and 4 is your moneymaker at Richmond. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll do closing comments here. I'm expecting to see.
I have no idea how Richmond goes because I haven't driven at that track on NASCAR Heat and haven't seen it in person or in on TV at all. So no idea how that's going to go.
It's like reverse Phoenix.
Ah, okay. Wait to go right?
No, no. The tri-oval's on the wrong side of the track at Phoenix. But I think we'll see more of these young guys just dominating.
Should be exciting.
So, a track that Jimmy Johnson's not known for being good at. So
Saturday night.
This should be exciting. Any closing comments from you, Justin?
I don't know. I'm ready for the next race. Had a rain delay today to push this one back, and already ready for the next one.
Alrighty. Well, having said that, we kept it short as promised, in between 10 and 15 minutes. I'm Hurdon.
I'm Carbon.
And bring on Richmond.